I always like to get to know who I'm talking to. So with a raise of hands, can you tell me if you are working for yourself? All right. And how many of you are working for someone else? Okay, majority. And how many of you are just a contractor or a freelancer? Okay. All right, so I just want to let you know when I talk about customer, I'm going to be talking about basically either one, your boss's customer, your customer if you work for yourself, or your client's customer. So when I use customer, those are the three ways I'm using it for you today. But all right, so are we ready? You ready? Learn some good stuff? All right. So I've got a weird question for you. How does a zipper work? Yeah? Magic. I like magic. Magic's good. So, So did everybody hear what he just said? It said something about it turns them, that locking teeth, it turns. Did anybody know about that?
Am I right? I'm guessing.
You're guessing, so he doesn't know, so you don't know.
I'm guessing. I don't know what it looks like.
Oh my gosh, really? You don't know? Does anybody know? Well, that's very interesting. Don't you actually pretty much use a zipper every day? Zip up your pants. It's like magic, right? You zip it up, and it closes. Your clothes close. You zip it down, and woo, it's open, right? Right? Well, a little. So, if you don't know about things that you use every single day, what else do you not know about? All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to actually talk about you first, because it really is all about you, right? So we're going to talk about you and how your brain actually works. What actually makes you, you. All right, so we're going to talk about you first, and then we're going to talk about how that relates to your client's customer or your customer, and then we're going to show you the insights of how to design for the 21st century consumer or customer. All right, so what do you know? Scary question, right? Well, show of hands, who actually likes to walk around feeling lost and clueless? Oh, we got one, we got two, we got some. You guys are being smart. You guys aren't really being stupid, right? Sometimes you like being clueless, you like being lost. Well, okay, and it's the adventure of, the journey, the adventure. Okay, I get that, I totally get that. But, mostly no one likes to feel kind of lost and clueless. And I'm going to tell you, being here at the Blend, since I'm a designer and most of you, or most of the people that I've talked to, are UX kind of people, back end, front end kind of people, I've been feeling, in some of my conversations, a little clueless. So it's kind of funny. It's not really all that comfortable, but it is what it is, right? So we have, let's see, how does this work? But really, basically, nobody likes to feel lost and clueless, and it actually comes from more of a standpoint from a throwback when we were, ancestral throwbacks. We really want that to know about our basic kind of survival. We need to know things. We need to be in control. Our brains are wired and need to provide us with an answer no matter what, no matter if it's the right answer. So it's just like when you actually said to me, well, no one else is speaking up on how a zipper works. I'm going to just tell you what I think how a zipper works. And so it may be right, it may be wrong. I don't know. because I don't even know how a zipper actually works. I actually looked it up, and I think you're very close if you're not exact, though. So, rock on. But we all think we know things, and sometimes we don't. It reminds me of that Donald Rumsfeld, speech about when, like, 2002, the known knowns, the unknown knowns, and the unknown unknowns, or something of that nature. But that's basically, he was actually referring to something that psychologists call the illusion of knowledge. And that's how our brains keep us safe, keep us very in where we are, feeling good, feeling like we're not lost, like we're not clueless. The greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance. It is the illusion of knowledge, and that's by Stephen Hawking. So it's kind of scary that all of us in here and out there in the world and beyond, that all of us are actually just going around our lives and just making things up. We're kind of lying to ourselves because we don't want to actually realize what we don't know. It's very weird. Millions of our people are actually thinking they're 100% right and in the know. Now, I must say, you all have friends that do it a little badly. Like that guy, like he's always the know-it-all. Well, unfortunately, the rest of us are just doing it the same way, but we're better at hiding it. So, what do you think you know? So next is to know about you is what do you remember? How many of you think you have good memories? Raise your hands. Got one? Got two? Three? Four? Anybody else? Oh, five. Go back there. All right. 5 of you say that you have good memories. All right. Well, we're going to put that to the test. All right. We're going to put that to the test. Okay. All you people, especially those ones that raised your hands, we're going to put you to the test. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to click off a series of images, and I want you to remember as many of them as you possibly can. All right? Rules? And you're going to count how many you remember. So, all right, ready? How many? Do you remember? All right, so you 5? You remember 5. How many? Anybody remember more than 5? You got 7? Anybody got 8? 9? How about 10? Anybody got 10? All 10? You got 8. Who all has 8? All right, so tell me, what were the 8 that you remember?
Luggage or suitcase, brain, question mark, pin, money, Batmobile thing, shit, what was it?
That wasn't in
Tag, did I say tag?
No.
7, what was the 8 that I remember? Did I say question mark?
You already said question mark, and question mark isn't the one. Question mark is not, that's, question mark's not the one.
They all have the orange side? Okay, no, that's fine.
So you got 7. Anybody else remember anything else? Huh? Rain clouds? Hot air balloon? All right, I can't remember all of them. I did the slides and I can't remember them. So here they all are. Knife and fork. I don't think I heard anybody say knife and fork, and that was like the last one.
It's hard to stick in.
That's right. So basically, most people can only remember 5 to 7 things. And most of us aren't really good at remembering things. I must say, my husband, he's got a 3 maximum limit, okay? After 3, we must write it down, and that's really kind of funny. But you guys actually did really well. I'm really impressed with you guys. So basically, what happens is we have, your brain doesn't remember everything it sees. It's actually a highly selective process of receiving information, retaining information, and recalling information. So basically what happens is you don't really remember anything besides what you're really focused on. So you've got all this stuff happening right now, and right now I'm imagining that you are actually going to remember me. You might not remember what I say, you might not remember my slides, you might not remember a lot of things, but I'm sure that what you're going to do is you're going to remember me. And the reason why you're going to remember me is because I'm the one walking and talking and making noise and doing like crazy little things like this, right? So you're going to remember me because that's what's memorable, is you're focused on things that move. But outside of it, are you really going to remember, what the actual floor looks like, what the ceiling looks like, what the actual walls look like? You know what? I've been in this room several times these last couple of days, and I don't remember that chandelier until just now, and I don't remember seeing this wonderful carpet, and I don't think I remember those mirrors there. So even I, who is very detail-oriented, still, if it's not really pointed out, I'm not going to remember it. I'm only going to remember who's on stage. All right, but basically we receive, we retain, and recall. Now, the thing is that it's what actually is important, or what is important is actually filed away and saved. The rest of it is left in your short-term memory. And what you actually, signified or denoted in this is that you remembered 8 things. But the longer we talked about it, your memory got less and less and less fuzzy. And that's because your short-term memory is only 20 seconds, and then it's gone. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and it's gone. It's out of there. It is totally out. If it wasn't important enough for you to remember, you are actually gone. And that's the reason why detectives actually want to speak to an eyewitness immediately after the fact, because 20 seconds, major details are being lost. They're being dropped right out of your memory. And eyewitnesses are notoriously unreliable because of that fact. So, but how does your brain know what to pitch and what to keep? Recently, I did a speech on the difference between males and females and how they actually think and how they actually remember things. And basically, it was about targeting females in the 21st century. Which is the stereotypes and blah, blah, blah of what designers are doing. But basically what came out is males actually think and talk more concise and precise. They like to actually talk to you, pick their words very carefully, and be able to get their concept across in the fewest amount of words. Females, on the other hand, they're all kind of all over the place. basically what happens is a female really likes to be a little more descriptive. She likes a little more details in her stories. So the reason why this is because a male actually uses the left temporal lobe, which is the logic temporal lobe, to actually conduct speech, memory, things of that nature. And that really makes it very nice and succinct. The other thing is that their memories aren't nearly as good. That's the reason why they're so clear and clean and succinct, because they only remember the high points. I always like to use men as copy editors and copywriters to help me shrink down my text, or when I'm looking for a slogan, I tell them my long 2-paragraph vision of what I want, and then lo and behold, they come and they actually succinctly tell me what I need to say. My husband, I hate it when he does that to me. So lo and behold, a female, actually, their brain works totally differently. Their brain actually doesn't just include the one temporal lobe, they include both of them. So they are constantly actually, when they're thinking and talking and listening, they're actually engaging both temporal lobes, the logic one as well as the creative one. So that's the reason why women are very much detail-oriented. That's the reason why women can remember that you didn't take out the trash, or you didn't do these things that you're supposed to do in this honey-do list, right? So this is one of those things that is kind of interesting when you know the differences. So a woman, actually, when she engages, she's actually reliving certain things that she's talking about. So that's the reason why she needs all those wonderful details, because she's reliving everything. It's the reason when you talk to a woman, she's remembering the color of the carpet, which seems to a man absolutely ridiculous. Just get to the point. But that is important to a female, all right? So now that you understand, do you have any questions on males versus females and how they think?
Does this change culturally? Like I know in different cultures they have different modes of communication.
Right. This is Western world.
This is Western.
Mm-hmm. So, lastly is, what do you eliminate? Your brain is constantly trying to leave you with as little information as necessary to make sense of your world, as not to clutter your brain. So, read this. Does it make sense? Huh? No? Yes? It totally makes sense, right? The New York in the spring, right?
No, there's an extra there.
Yes, there is an extra the. How many of you saw the extra the? Very good. What happens is that most people, when they scan over text or over a website or graphics or what have you, they're just sort of kind of sweeping their wonderful eyes. They're just grabbing chunks of information that please them. And so in this particular case, is most of you, I think it was most of you, just said New York in the spring. And totally missing that extra the. That is your brain playing tricks on you, but that's exactly what your brain does. It eliminates the clutter. It eliminates the non-necessary. There was a beep up here. I don't know what that was. Anyway, sorry. So a simple task like reading shows how much your brain takes and tosses out, especially that extra the. And it does it pretty much with zero conscious awareness on your part. Zero conscious awareness. that's kind of weird that your brain just does things that you don't really know about, kind of unconsciously. I don't know if I like that. So that is pretty much about you. Now, we're going to talk about our clients or our customers. So, as you can see, your customers look a little bit like you. I don't know if you noticed that. So, basically what we've learned about ourselves, we're now kind of going to switch over to the customers, but they're kind of the same. So here is you, and here's the customers. And so, neither one of us like to feel lost or clueless. You don't like to feel, you are actually unaware of your unknowns, so are your clients. Ooh, I don't know what just happened there. Well, we'll just skip that and we'll go to the next one. So let's see. You can only remember 5 to 7 things at a time. Well, guess what? So do your clients or customers. And if you're a male, you like to operate clear and concise. Female, we like clear and concise as well. I don't want to give you the impression that we don't like clear and concise, because we do. But we do enjoy details and descriptions. And your customers, brains eliminate the irrelevant with zero conscious awareness, just like you. Isn't that interesting? Now that we know. Now that we know how we operate, now we can actually see a problem. The human brain can only handle so much at one time. Our customers' brains are only focusing on what directly interests them right now and pretty much blocking out the rest. Do you find that happening? It's a noisy world out there, but still, they are totally blocking you out. And I call that brand awareless customer. So when your customer actually's brains, it's not them, it's actually how we're wired up or how they're wired up. They can't. There's just too much going on. And instead of actually, having a seizure because of all the stuff that we've got going on, your brain says, okay, turn off all this, let's focus on what we really want to know and what we really want to know now. So a brand awareless customer is the one that actually just hunkers down and only focuses on what they want. So basically, Facebook and Google and news sites and any website that has advertising in a column off to the side, they're all creating brand awareless customers. Isn't that interesting? Because look at all those things. This is what most people look for. Right there. They only want to know about that. Google? I don't know about you, but that's all I care about right there. So we're creating customers, we're teaching customers not to pay attention and stay in their wonderful little focused areas. We're teaching them to sort of blank it out. Do you understand the impact of that? That because we've actually, put these things onto the sides, and usually it's always on the right-hand corner, we were like, I don't even need that right-hand side anymore. I'm just going where the content is, the content that I'm actually interested in. Now, I must say, Google and Facebook are aware of this. And that's the reason why we now have retargeting. Now, retargeting, everybody knows what retargeting is? All right, so retargeting works. It's working right now. But it's just a trick. It's not going to work forever. As soon as our customers realize what we are doing, they're going to block that too. They're going to block it right out of their minds and deem it irrelevant. All right. So, designers on all levels are designing for where people's mindsets are from yesteryear and yesterday and yesterdecade. Instead of thinking about who we are now, and even better, who we're about to be, who we're going to be in the future, what are our customers going to need from us as designers in the future? Well, I'm going to tell you, I hope that in the future when you're doing your designs, and you have to have ads on the sides, that you actually don't put them on the sides. Why not integrate them like a magazine, fluidly? Integrate them instead of teaching everybody to actually ignore them. Because they really are ignoring your designs, if you really think about it. So we still live in design by old stereotypes dating back to the mid-20th century, and we aren't using scientific discoveries about how our brains are wired to our advantage. So I have come up with these 6 wonderful things, these 6 insights for you to help you actually move forth and think about who you are and how your customer is actually much like you because we're human beings. We all have the same baseline. We all don't want to, feel lost or clueless. So how do we as designers make sure our customers don't feel lost or clueless when they are interacting with our brands? How do we make them join in immediately into our culture? How do we actually help them become aware of their unknowns? How do we sort of kind of help them, educate them on where they need to go and what they need to know? If they only remember 5 to 7 things, then I think we need to make sure that limitations in our results, our solution, that our brains are limited. In 20 seconds, we're gone. We all like clean and concise language and design. But what we all need to make sure when we do our designs is be persuasive. For females, should add maybe a few more details and descriptions if you'd like. But remember, we don't need them. Women don't need those extras. But sometimes we like them. And so, there you go. There's me. Do I have any questions?